Hi, welcome to How to Be a Sound Engineer here on YouTube, where you can get tips and tricks and how to record music, mix music, um, any audio for that matter. Real quick, I also stream live on Twitch, so you can see live studio sessions. Sometimes I do it by myself, sometimes I'll have guests, sometimes clients in here, and just that way you can see the creative process as it's taking place. So if you want to follow me on Twitch over there, the link is in the description below as well as on this video. And that way you can see when those notifications pop up. Go ahead and do me a favor and subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell button so you don't miss out any tips and tricks that come out. So today we're talking about automation. What is automation? Well, automation is a process in which you can control, say, volume or any number of parameters automatically as the as the track plays through. The system will automatically adjust anything that you've told it to adjust as it's playing through in real time. So you can basically turn on and off things. You can adjust volumes and just clean up things. Great way to fade effects in and out, volume in and out, adjust for really loud points, or maybe you want to accentuate certain phrases or words in a song. Any number of things it could be used for. Right now, I'm going to show you an example of a fade in for this track I'm working on. It's going to be used in a YouTube channel for video games. They'll be playing this with their video game playback. So let's take a listen to the beginning of this track, and that way you can hear what's going on. So on the main screen is your track view. On the screen above me is the mixer view on my other screen. So I use multiple screens. It just makes it much more efficient for myself. I'm about efficiency, and I don't want to have to click back and forth between tracks. Call me lazy, whatever, but all right, so let's play back and listen to this. Okay, not bad. It comes in soft, but I want it to fade in a little bit more. I want it to not come in so hard in the beginning. At least the first bar, basically. After that, then it could be back to normal, at least for now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna automate this piano chords channel and this drum loop channel that I created. So we're going to go to over here on, actually I can do it over here as well. So I have channel 1 selected here. It's also going to be done on individual, on the mixing console. There's a right button, but I'll show you here where you can see it a little better. Right enable parameters. Now every DAW is going to have different ways of doing this, but in here this is how you do it. So as you notice, now these turned red, indicating now they're right enabled. Excuse me. Now we're going to go to the second channel because we need to right enable that as well. Otherwise, they won't work together. So we'll right enable that. Another thing to take notice that I almost skipped over is that I have these two channels tied together. They're in a group, meaning when I move one fader, they both move. So I know that I want this to end up about +2. So what, and that's super important. So I can like right click on these and I can assign groups to them. And I already have them assigned together because I'm going to automate. I want both of these items to fade in together. So I want to keep the balance between them. So it's a great way. It's kind of like a DCA or a VCA on a digital or analog console. Digital consoles use VCA. So basically, it's a fader that controls multiple faders. It doesn't bust them together. It just is a controller for multiple faders to keep them moving in sync with each other and keep the balance that you've already preset as far as the faders themselves. So this works a lot like a VCA would, like on a Behringer X32 or Midas M30 or Midas M32 or any other higher end digital console will have a VCA. And they used to have them in analog consoles as well. Sorry, those are VCAs. Digital is DCAs. Got those mixed up in my head for a second. Anyway, so VCA, by the way, stands for voltage voltage control automation, voltage control automation, I believe. And then the DCA is digital control automation. I'm pretty sure that's what it stands for. If I'm wrong, go ahead and comment below. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Anyway, so we're going to automate these together. So I've already linked them together. I've already armed them to write. So I use a PreSonus control or a PreSonus fader port for as one of my control surfaces, as well as a Behringer X32 that also has a digital control surface. So I can manipulate many things with those. I don't always have to reach for the mouse to move stuff. You can do the same thing with the mouse. You can move these things up and down with your mouse and automate it that way. And I'll also show you another way to do it here in a second with the... I'll show you a second. All right, so first I'm going to play this, and I'm going to automate it. All right, so you'll see on the screen what's happening. Okay, as you can see, now envelopes have appeared right here. That was the word I was looking for a second ago. For whatever reason, it wasn't coming out. Envelopes that appeared, and this is showing, and they're also relative to each other. So they stayed the balance of what they were preset before. So if you look at like any point here, so it's negative 2.9 right there, and this is negative 3.6. So they're still relative to each other decibel-wise to what they were originally set at, but now they're moving fluidly through the automation process. So as they play back, they'll automatically, and as you heard before, they come through. So now when I just play it and I take off my automation, I can take these off, and when I play it, and there's also an indicator on these tracks that automation is taking place. Right here is this little envelope dots right here, and it also shows it on the console part too, just to signify that there's automation taking place on this track. So be aware. And if with all these tracks as these R's selected, you can actually turn these off. Turn off the read. This is read automation, so you could turn off the read and make it so it doesn't read it. It'll just be whatever that's sitting at. You'll play it back as. We want it on though, so we're going to keep it on. So as you play it back, take a listen. It automatically did that automation for me. I didn't have to move anything. Before, when I automated it, I did use my fader port, so that's where that automation came from. You didn't see the mouse moving. I just find it easier to use, but you can do this exact same thing that way. You can also come in after the fact and change these values, move things around to whatever you want to make adjustments, so it'll play back that automation. So say, let's just do this just for giggles. Let's play back that, and you'll see as I edited that automation there, you'll play back and it will correspond. As that's happening, also keep an eye on this fader right here. That way you can kind of see what's going on. Now that sounds a little funny, obviously. It's a little kooky. We wouldn't do that specifically here, but I just want to show the example of kind of what was going on. And I'll just undo all that and go back to there. All right, so now that we have this balanced fade in, we figured out volume. Now say we want to apply an effect to something. Let's go down here to the saxophone, for example, and click on that track, and let's apply. And if you watch a previous video, now you know. If you remember, for automation purposes, for the volume, we moved this with a trimmer, so it came in super useful. And one thing about automation, if you're writing automation, especially on faders, you want to try to keep where you're working with it, if possible, especially if it's detailed work. You want your fader to be around 0 because your resolution is highest in this section of the fader. The farther down you go, the more broad that resolution becomes, and it gets much more difficult to get a good resolution or really accurate automation. So obviously broader things like this here, it's not a big deal. It's more where your detail is coming in. So that's how you can kind of set yourself up, is using a trimmer of some sort or a gain staging plugin in between the effects or before it gets to the fader. So a lot of times you can, that way, if you know you're going to do automation, you can put that in there. We're not going to automate that specifically at this moment, but I wanted to point that out for anybody. Say I want to throw a delay on here, or better yet, actually, let's throw a reverb. So if I go over to my buses, I generally set up I have a template that I set up that has a bunch of pre-set up buses that I tend to use more often. Sometimes my templates can change, but these are my general track starting point, so I don't have to reset these up every time. So it gives me I give myself a list of delays and a list of reverbs and different effects processing that are on buses to make it easier for me. So we're gonna go over to, let's go to True Verb. So it's on True Verb. So I want to do is go over. I have track 6 selected, and I want to put in a send. So I'm going to send to the True Verb Reverb send. That's what I have it labeled as, and that's what the thing is. Okay, so now we have a send, and if you don't know how send works, basically you're still coming through. You're going through all your pre, going through all your different plugins. It comes down to your send, and this is kind of like a splitter, so to speak. And you can choose how much you send. There's pre and post. Okay, so this is on post right now. So this is saying after it gets past the volume level of the fader, we're going to send that signal also to that bus track. Okay, follow me? At whatever level you send. So this is your level choice here. You have your pan, and this is post. And if you want pre before the fader affects it, so it comes down past all this stuff, all your plugins, and then you can select pre, take it off post button, go to pre, and it'll split that off at whatever level and pan that you have set. And notice that I have my right automation on right here on this channel, and it's affecting these two knobs, the level and pan. Doesn't affect the post, but you might even be able to. You might be able to actually write that in. I'm not totally sure, but I haven't tried. You might be able to create an envelope for it. It doesn't matter. We're not going to use it for that anyway. That would be a really weird thing to do. Um, if you'd want to do that, you'd probably be better off. I think the easiest way would be to put in two to the same, uh, like two of these sends going to the same place, and change the levels, one pre and one post accordingly. That'd be a really weird thing. I've never seen anybody do that for anything, but maybe you want to do that. I don't know. Just showing you how to tell you how to do it. So you say we want to add this reverb here, okay? First, I want to turn this all the way down because I don't necessarily want the reverb on the whole time, or maybe I do. Maybe I want it on a low level. Let's first, before we do any automation, let's pick a reverb we like. So let's solo this track real quick, and we're gonna play it. And as we're playing it, I'm gonna go through and find a reverb that I like. All right. Oops, I didn't want to automate there. So this is where we undo this stuff, and then we take off this automation because I'm gonna adjust some levels here as I'm picking things. So here we go. We'll try it again. Okay, so one thing I'm noticing, I'm not getting a ton of signal on that. So what I want to do is actually insert a trim on this, just so you can hear more of what I'm talking about, so it's more obvious. Normally, when apply a ton of reverb to where it's like over the top, but we're kind of want to send home a point here. So I'm just gonna copy this over to the true reverb. We're gonna move that up there, and we're gonna turn this trim up, say around 10 dB. Now we should be able to hear it better. Let's take a listen. So I'm not digging these. I want something a little more in your face reverby. Um, let's try switching this to the Manny reverb. How about that? So we switch this to Manny, and I'm gonna move this. Oops, move this over here in case I need it. Turn it off for a second. See if it's loud enough. Okay, so that's actually kind of cool. I dig that. So, um, what we're going to do here is we're going to automate this. So, let's say we have this turned down. Let's see what. Now, I want to hear it in the context, so I'm going to unsolo this track. And say I want it to come in with big reverb, and I want it to slowly fade out. So we're going to put this reverb send back up. And let's see what we can do. Let's automate it. All right. So we're gonna bring this in, and now it's ready to be automated. Let's do it. All right. So as we can see, we started off with a big reverb, a lot more reverb going on, and then we just automate it out, and then bring it back in, automate it back out again. So as we play it back, it'll automatically make those adjustments. And as you saw, I was moving it with my mouse on that one. So let's take a listen back. And like maybe if I want to come in here, like I want this last note here to really like resonate. This right here, I can come in and just make an adjustment, and really kind of like drive home what I want to do. And snapping the grid real quick. So if you noticed, it was snapping back and forth grid. A little tip here is I have snap smart grid on, so I'm gonna turn that off so I can be a little more precise with this. I want to move it right there. Move this down, boom, something like that. Now it'll pop back in and sound really cool. I'm going to turn the automation right off real quick. I'm going to play back this section. As you see, that added a lot of character. We were controlling it. It wasn't just like over the top reverb or the whole time. It was we're building and you can pick and choose what sections you want to do it to. So that was a perfect example of automation to really accentuate different parts of the song, create some space. So yeah, that is automation in general. I hope that helped. And go ahead and don't forget to subscribe. Like I said, we're going to be releasing videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Hope to see you guys again soon. And don't forget, I also live stream on Twitch. Links in the below. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Bye.